on the PC. There's a lot of tension. So, top of the seal water. Back on the Syndicate, welcome to this week's vlog. Hello people, back on the Syndicate water. It's only a day. I think what I'll do on this particular lake, which is where I spent most of last winter, I shall only be doing day sessions. For the simple reason I've had very little activity at night, and the photographs that I've seen on the Facebook page have also been taken in the day. Now, I don't know what time of day, but there's been sunlight. I've started to introduce my winter bait at a rate of 2 to 1 with my fish meal. Yeah, sort of handful of my new bait to 2 handfuls of the fish meal. I'm a bit late getting here this morning. A bit late, really 20 to 12. But in the past, the majority of my fish have been between 3 and 5 in the afternoon, so yeah, that's where we're at the minute. I mean, I've got my baits hanging up in the tree. They're what I had left over from Jason's social last weekend, which was a brilliant weekend. Stuart Vinter was there, Simon Towers was there, Pete Carroll was there, Gonald Carper was there, Gonald Carper's brother was there, Jason was there. Oh, I was there, yeah. I was trying to think who the 7th person was then. It was a great pleasure to meet all you lads, even though Simon did sort of pick my brains a little bit. No worries, mate. Brains always there to be picked on. So, yeah. I've got on the left-hand rod. What have I got? That's my multi-combi with a snowman setup on it. The middle rod is just a pop-up, as is the right-hand rod. The left-hand rod is positioned where I had that action the last time I was down here. That's about 45 yards. The middle rod, alright, you can't see it now because the weeds died back a bit, but that's fishing in between the 2 weed beds that we're showing. And the right hand rod is again tucked up that far side margin. I've got 2 hands full of bait over the right hand rod, 2 hands full of bait over the middle rod, and 5 hands full of bait on the left hand rod. Now that's the one where I've been putting in the new bait as well. So, I mean, I know they eat the fish meal from the last time I was down, so hopefully they'll start nomming on the fish meal and then they'll switch onto the new bait. if I want to do any nights, I'll go and fish another one of the pits. Possibly the front pit. That's got some good fish in it. At the right time of year, there's a couple of 40s in there. So that'd be nice to get one of them on camera for you. So yeah, catch you all later. It's been a change of position because it started to rain. I haven't got a brolly with me, so I'm sat here in the car with my remote in my hand. Well, which one was that? Oh, thought I heard a beep then, but I couldn't have done. So yeah, this is where we're at the minute. My new favourite biscuits. I found them on holiday when I went with a family, and rather tasty they are too. Yeah, I've got to go and get my fag bucket. Oh, let's just plug this in. There we go. Got permanent power now. Right, I'll catch you all soon. I was watching something on YouTube this morning by, I can't remember who it was by, and they said that they don't use bottom baits unless you're fishing on a totally clear area, whether it be gravel or sand, because the hook sinks into the weed. To me, a boilie weighs more than a hook, and the only reason you get weed on your hook, I'll just get a rig out and show you. Right, I've got a rig. I can't really show you the complete setup, but that's your loop for tying your line on, well, attaching to your leg clip or quick clip or whatever, and that's your hook. Right, now alright, that's a pop-up on there. So your hook on a bottom bait rig, your hook is laying on the bottom like so. When you start to wind in, because your lead is here, that's going to drag, because your lead's the first to move, your lead is going to drag the hook straight into the weed. Are you with me? That's when you get weed on your hook. Now, that's the hook sitting on the bottom with the bottom bait on it. When a fish picks the bait up, obviously it comes in from whichever angle, but picks the boilie up and the hook is going straight up. Yeah? When it spits it out, that's when it can catch on the weed. But that's my way of thinking, and I've had a lot of fish from fishing bottom baits on weed. Blanket weed, that is. Blanket weed and silkweed. Silkweed's the worst. Because it's because it is like bloody silk. My rig box. My rig board, rather. So that's the way I think. I mean, I might be totally wrong, but common sense tells me that's what happens. When you start winding in, the lead moves first, and it don't do that and then that. It sort of does that, dragging the hook into the weed. When the fish picks the bait up, it picks the bait up. It don't pick the lead up, not unless you're using a lead hook length like that. It's only when it starts moving off that the lead moves. If you're fishing some form of semi-fixed rig. With running rigs, my lead stays where it stays put. And I don't use a heavy lead either. I use 95% of the time it's 1.5 ounces. If it's a fairly windy day and I think the wind's going to get up, to continue to hit the spot consistently, I will go up to a 2 ounce lead, but it's not very often I do that. Because we're running leads, I'm only fishing up to a maximum of 50 yards. To me, there's so much bullshit floating about on the internet, mostly made by tackle companies, that are there to sell you products that you don't need. So, I mean, if you want to buy the products, buy them. I'm not in no position to tell you where to spend your money, but I've been refining my running rig for the last 14 years, 15 years. I started off using running leads with inline leads. And then, because you can't get a totally smooth surface on the inside of a lead, don't know how good you are, you'll never get a totally smooth through the centre of a lead, even if you drill it. I started using tubing. And one particular day I was fishing up close to a reed bed with a running lead inline with tubing, and a coot dived down and picked me bait up when I got hooked, and he went straight into the reeds and wrapped itself up in the reeds. Now, there is no way I could have got that out without going out in the boat, which is what I did do. And when I got out there, the rig tube it was the actual rig tube that got wrapped around a reed. And I thought to myself, well, if that coot can't get off, and I hook a carp and it gets in the reeds, and I'm pulling and pulling and pulling, if a coot can't break them off, then a carp can't break them off. So I switched over to pendant leads without the tubing, and I found that I was getting just as many, well, if not more screaming takes than what I did on the inline setup. But I didn't like, even if the lead had got a big eyed swivel on it, I didn't like that close proximity, if you know what I mean. So I went down the local tackle shop one day and I was looking round and I see the Nash run ring kit, and I've been using that ever since. The beauty of that is you got a big ring, you got a peg to keep the swivel in place, and then the drop down bit actually covers the swivel, so as you've just got the loop of the lead. You still got a bit of movement in the lead, but you've got the loop of the lead just free. The swivels don't come into a factor for tangling round. And then when I was on the wool pack, I would say 95% of the people was on, including myself, was on coated braids. And I wanted to do something different but still keep a similar setup. So I started actually using a homemade combi with fluorocarbon. Well, initially it was made with amnesia. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. If I'm using the black amnesia and I'm fishing on gravel, that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Because the fish in the wool pack was cute, very, very cute. So I thought, right, by which time I'd got some clear amnesia. But it weren't, the clear amnesia wasn't stiff enough for what I wanted. I mean, all right, Terry Hearn, he used to use it as a stiff link. So again, I went down to the local tackle shop to see if they've got anything along similar lines. And I started using fluorocarbon. And then there were times when I wanted it to be, you know, if I'm using a longer hook length, then you don't want such a stiff fluoro. So I started using the softer fluorocarbons. And then I started fishing a lot over particles, where I wanted something really, really stiff. So then I started using the chud materials. And, you know, I still use them components today. Natural braid, fluorocarbon, well, I'll turn around and say what I use. I use Ghost Soft, Amnesia, 15-pound mouth trap from Corda, and 25-pound rigidity from Fox. So I can make up a rig for any situation that I'll come across. I can lengthen it, shorten it, make it stiffer, make it softer. Whereas with a coated braid, all you can do is make it longer or shorter. I mean, yeah, all right, you can tie a rig, leaving the outer casing intact, but that's still not stiff. That's still not stiff enough for me. So it's another little tip, trick and all that bollocks. There was only a few spots of rain, but I didn't want to get the camera wet. In actual fact, it looks like the sun's coming out now a bit. Right, I think I'll go and sit round the back again now. Hey, guess what, lads? I've got to treat this fish because there's a bit of a sore on the side. But there she is, a little 13-pounder. God, I'm a happy man. What you saying that? I'm always happy when I catch a fish. Right, I'll get it treated and then I'll put it straight back. Looks like it's been treated before, but I'm going to treat it again. There we go. Oh! And that's what you get for your troubles. I do like a little fishy. I do like a little fishy. I've just had another pull up on one of the other rods as well. Don't know whether it was a line bite or what. You ought to better put me off on the fucking roof. No, it's down there. The old pineapple fruit crush again. Ouch. That looks sharp. I always blob my pop-ups on there. Never used to. Always used to time on. I think I'm going to need an extra weight on that. Right, get this rod back, sort cast out, and then sort that other one out. That other pull-up was a line bite, but it was a good line bite. So reposition the rod. Rebaited and recast the other rod. And put some more bait out over both of them. I suppose the middle rod I put about 3 good handfuls back over the middle rod, and a couple of handfuls over the right hand rod, but the middle rod is spread over, I suppose, half the size of a tennis court. So there's a good spread out there. I'm a happy man. I'm always a happy man when that indicator goes and I get to the rod in time. Fish was well hooked again. Multi-combi. What more could a man ask for? You've got a rig that's working, you've got a bait that's working. So now you just got to get it in front of feeding fish, and I've done that already today. Time's 1:30. There's still time for a couple more. Not that I'm being greedy or anything. Yeah. old wind's getting up. So yeah, the majority of the weed that was on the surface last time I come down has gone. We've got a bit of weed over there. Can you see it? I don't know whether you can see it. Just over there. I've got a bit right over there, and there's a bit near my left hand rod that I used as a marker. So I'm going to have to, what I'm soon going to have to do is clip up, well, cast out to it, clip up, and then wrap it up so as I know exactly where it is. Same with the middle rod. Don't need to clip up on the left right hand rod because it's just chucked up again that far margin, at 2 or 3 yards off the margin. Just some overhanging trees there. Again, I've got a good spread of bait along there. It's about 4 yards. It's about 4 yards off the bank, and it's about 4 yards off the bank, and then I'm fishing the other side of it, get close to the trees where hopefully the fish is sitting. That one's a spice blend from Feed Stimulants. I was talking to the marketing manager from Feed Stimulants at the start of the week. I asked him if the spice blend was going to be all systems go, or is it going to be back on the drawing board, and he turned around and said it's going to be all systems go. So they'll be coming out on the market soon. Don't actually know when. In actual fact, they're a grey colour. When I roll this fag, I'll get you one out of my bag and I'll show you. Hopefully it's soon gonna happen because I'm running short of them. Got to find them now. Yeah, they're the ones. This is just a mixed pot. It's sort of a sandy colour. Brilliant for fishing over weed. There you go. That's the colour of them. Oh, I've got a few more than what I thought. Never mind. I have had fish on them. I have had fish out of here on them, but not today. I was going to use my bricker bait today, but I ain't got my knife with me. What's the bricker bait I took to Joe's Social? All you do is just cube it up, fish it like luncheon meat. The beauty of this is it's got all flat sides, so when it sinks down it sits on top of weed. back, otherwise I forget. All sorted. I'll spray me landing net, waistling and cradle at the end of the session. Just because I don't know where I'm going next. Should be down here, but you never know. So I'm going to be using some of that net safe. Kills bacteria, viruses and fungi on nets, slings, unhooking mats and clothing. Help to protect our native species. Net safe, sanitise and deodorise. Give it a good shake up before you use it. Ooh, I'm enjoying this. Ooh, ooh. So as you mix all the ingredients up, and then away you go. Directions for use: allow nets, slings and hooking mats and clothing to drip dry first. Remove any debris from 15 cm. Spray all over and allow it to dry naturally. Do not wipe off. Always test the colour of freshness on small area before use. Contact time minimum 5 minutes. Contact inquiries to sanitise equipment and clothing. Ingredients: yeah, natural odour eliminators, non-iconic substances and disinfectant and flavour. Oh, it's got flavour in it. Never spray net safe on fish. So yeah, I mean, I always, before I started using that, I always used to thoroughly dry everything out, but I mean, take last week, I went for the weekend and had a fish, so the net and everything else wouldn't have been totally dry by today. So handy little tip. I mean, if you're fishing one lake all the time, then I wouldn't have thought that you'd have needed it. But because I fish different waters, then I do use it. That's the wind. So we're up and running. Somebody just turning up for the weekend. 1:45 Friday. It's about the regular time. I'll put out quite a bit of bait when I pack up tonight, because I'm coming back tomorrow. I'm coming back early, hopefully. So, yeah, I'll see you all later.